Greetings, nerds. As I've learned is also my core audience because, Jesus, you've been clamoring for this one. Ever since we did JB Hi-Fi, which was nerdy enough, we had to go to the one that's just like, nah, just this specific part of JB Hi-Fi. Expand it out to the size of JB Hi-Fi. And did you know? They have an appearance. This is EB Games workers confess their sins. That's Brisbane, and I'm naked. Why am I naked in Brisbane? I can't remember, but I've got to fly down to Sydney, then I've got to fly back up to Brisbane, Cairns, and Townsville to do shows. Brand new Alien show that I've not brand new at all anymore. The point is, get your tickets, links below. Before we begin, I have a small wager here. I think that this will fall into the category of confess your sins that we like to classify as boo-hoo funny. I think there will be a lot of strangely sad stories in this because really, like how gambling was one of them, Mario's a type of gaming. I used to work for EB in Brisbane, and I remember one time my co-worker decided to do his usual shitting on company time routine. Yeah. Making a big deal of it as well. Guess what time it is? Time to shit. Yeah? Just that smug nerd smirk a bit. And walked out to the bathroom after telling our manager that he was about to shit himself. Well, at least this time he wasn't lying. It wasn't a false alarm. I think he was there for at least 2 hours. Fuck, he's trying out the Switch too, isn't he? And by the time someone decided to check on him, he had actually taken a shit, but he had also slipped as he was getting up and knocked himself unconscious while his undies and trousers were still at his ankles. I'm guessing this guy also drank a lot of strawberry milk. He's got something that's just quite uncoordinated that I'm too scared to say. Apparently, he wasn't done yet because there was a small trail of diarrhea running down his leg. Dude, his arsehole's not even coordinated. Needless to say, he left a week later. Oh, really? I actually thought that he'd just be like, I'm back. Know what time it is? Worked for a while at EB Games in Perth. Most of it I don't remember. Yeah, I can imagine, actually. Working at EB Games would be like crawling back inside the womb, wouldn't it? But I'll never forget the big, bearded, haggard-looking man. What, all of your customers? Or came in with his kids to look at the keyboards or something. When he came up to the counter where we sold packs of Pokemon trading cards, his son, standing in the trolley, asked him, Dad, can we get some Pokemon cards? And in the heaviest WA accent, the dad answered, Nah, mate, I've told you before, Pokemon were invented by the CIA. Well, I think we all learned something today, didn't we? The kid then innocently asked, Really? To which the dad confidently responded, Yep, every single one of them. Oh no, even Magnemite? What? I think I speak for everybody if I may borrow a phrase from Joe Rogan. That's crazy. Was in an EB when a guy was trading a stack of 10 games and they offered him just $32. Holy fuck, what, was it all just Pong? Just so happened that one of the games in his stack was the very game in my hand selling for $35, so I offered him $40 for the lot. That's incredible. Oh my god, what a desperate man. Yes. That's way more pocket money than my mom gave me. Needless to say, the EB Games staff member was pissed and kicked me out. Still got the game though. Dude, when the 21st century meets the first century, you just opened up an illegal barter market. Worked in EB Games once years back. Once when I was in charge of packing and sending the traded-in games to be cleaned and refurbished, I came across a copy of Pokemon Soul Silver. Ah, yes. That sounds valuable, but I'm putting on the lisp. I'm not one of you. I don't know what the fuck that is. Which is usually a very rare pre-owned to come across. Thank you for the context. Thank you. I'm learning. It usually sells as soon as it's put on the shelf. So instead of sealing it and sending it off with the rest of that day's trades, I wrote it off as irreparably damaged and pocketed the cartridge. I still have it to this day. See, all of you, you don't want money. You want games. You're all little golems at home who needs food when I've got spiritual nourishment. Speaking of rare, this man is a collector of true taste. He actually did confess a sin. What he did was illegal, and that is purportedly what this is all about. But usually it's just people writing it and saying, there's this other dumb fuck I know, which I'm very happy about as well, by the way. I am. I just wish there was more crims, you know, like that man, like that exemplary citizen there. I was working at EB during the time Oz was implementing the R18 rating for games. Before this, it was MA15 plus or banned. Can't even remember how many angry mothers who came in and abused me after I refused to sell a literal restricted product like GTA to their 14-year-old citing, "It's just a toy." Fuck me, someone did not work at the EB games in the CBD. That must have been outer suburbs as fuck. Having to calmly explain to them, you know this is the same rules as buying a CD, right? Yeah, their response, "Yeah, a vibrator's a toy, what's your point?" One interaction like this stood out though. I bounced a kid like normal and he looked at me like a deer looks at an oncoming train, and he turns around to the next guy in line and asks him to buy it for him. Precocious little scamp, ain't he? The guy in line looks at him and just goes, "Right in front of the employee? Are you a fucking spastic?" And the kid just says very dejectedly, "Yeah." Man, that was worth that shitty minimum wage job just to hear that. I worked at EB Games, and one day a comic book guy lookalike came into the shop. You know what'd be amazing? If he wasn't aware of that. He wanted to buy some anime game, of course, and asked if I could do a price match. Oh, I'm sure that would have been the most tolerable interaction of your life. If I remember correctly, the policy was only for physical stores and Amazon anyway. He showed me some shady looking website on his phone. I told him that we couldn't accept the price match. He walked away from the counter, went over to the table of used games and grabbed a bunch of them, throwing stacks of game covers in the air and left the shop. You know what I really want to know? A, what does that man do? B, what is that man doing right now? Because I don't think he's a fucking juggler. That requires too much social interaction. Worst customer experience ever! This is so spiritually nourishing for me. I wish we could do this every week. This is just laughing at Redditors. The game. The game. When the chronically online interact with real life. At EB, we do console repairs, and one day, one of our female employees had to call a customer letting them know that their Xbox disk drive was repaired and ready for pickup, giving a list of all the original parts provided, including their DVD copy of Come Hungry Teens. Come Hungry. Fuck. Cock. That was stuck in the disk drive! I think we all know why it wasn't working. Needless to say, we've still all had a good laugh about that one every now and again. And the thing is, again, you can tell that if you are putting that in for repair and you are not socially aware enough to know what might be the problems with that situation, you can hear that. You just know that when he got that message, there's also your copy of Fat Horse 3. Yes, is it repaired or not? Can you please hurry? I'm extremely busy fapping. Let me tell you of the Cheese Bandit. Oh, please do. I once found an unopened, still sealed in the plastic slice of cheese on the Nintendo shelves. Thinking not much of it, I picked it up and went to bin it when I saw another one on the shelf down. Ooh, the plot thickens. As I collected that, I saw 3 more, all sealed, sitting in the clearance t-shirts bin. Thinking this was rather odd, I was at this point, 3's another day in the office. 4, I could imagine that as a snack for one of our more hefty clients. 5, on the other hand. Now that is perplexing. I handed in the 5 sealed slices of cheese to the front counter, to which the staff member informed me of the mysterious Cheese Bandit. He gave air quotations because everyone knew who it was. It was a mentally challenged customer who would come in once a fortnight, buy a bunch of Funko Pops, whilst leaving the unopened slices of cheese all over the store, and then sheepishly ask if they had caught the Cheese Bandit yet whilst at checkout. I'm glad he's mentally challenged, because if he had any smarts, that would be a serial killer. That is way more innocent. That's sick. Like, it'd stink like shit, but it could be corpses. They stink worse. No member of the staff had the heart to tell them to stop. Yeah, no, you can't. You can't. You just got to put up with it. And that they all literally watched them leave the Okay, so he was that mentally challenged. They can't see me if I can't see them.
Criminal mastermind.
My mate who worked at EB was subscribed to one of the store manager's OnlyFans. He thought he was in the clear because it was a separate store. Then, when they had the work Christmas party, she turned up and he could not stop staring at her uncomfortably, and he was so scared she'd find out somehow, so we fucked with him and he hated it. Yeah, lad, that's what I like to hear. Now, that's some classic Christmas party antics. Good to hear that you even have Christmas parties at EB Games. I thought that they'd just be Scrooges and being like, no rest for the wicked. So I'm happy about that. I'm really happy with those stories. I would love to do another EB Games Confess Their Sins, but unfortunately we do have to keep the train moving until we inevitably come and pad right back. And this will be at the top of the list for that. But in the meantime, I think that we need to fill out the nerd trifecta. Why was this the last one? I guess because we're saving the best for last, perhaps? You're all going to be excited about this. You can all shut the hell up after shows and ask me, where's the Warhammer content? Because I'm giving it to you, you bastards. Here it is right here. Game shop workers confess their sins.
Games Workshop workers.
Yeah, that's right. That's the thing that I purportedly like heaps and never get enough fucking of those miniatures, apparently. Because I love that. Oh, I love the stories, though, so fucking put them in the comments below. See you around. Now, if you'll excuse me, you know what time it is.